Hi there guys, and welcome to my quick tutorial on which weapon is best to use against heavily armoured opponents in Kingdom Come Deliverance. So what I've done, I've equipped myself with heavy full plate armour. So it's not by any means the best armour you're going to find in the game, but it's definitely amongst what you'll find on the heavier opponents in the game. So I've got full plate armour, full hauberk on, everything equipped. Like I said, tend to find on bandit leaders or the leaders of the Cuman camp. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through the best weapons that you can buy in Rattay and how they compare to the armour stats and what damage you can expect to deal when wielding these weapons. So we'll start with the axe. The axe is designed to give some slashing damage as well as some blunt damage. The way I've worked this out, if you see on the bottom right, you can see all my armour attributes and then my melee weapon damage. How the game works this out, it gets your melee weapon damage and it subtracts the armour value of the body part that you're attacking to give a total amount of damage caused to the enemy. So we can see here that the axe has 3 piercing damage. Kind of goes to show you're going to hit someone with the blunt end of the axe, it's not going to do anything. So we can negate that damage. If you use a piercing attack against an enemy, you're not going to hurt them. It then has its slashing damage, which we can see there is 43. It also has blunt damage, which is 49. The blunt damage and the slashing damage, are combined whenever using the slashing attack, your main attack when you're attacking enemies. So what I can do there, I can negate my slashing armour and my blunt armour against those damages. So, attacking an enemy, assuming he's wearing the same armour as me, we'll have a look at the head. So we can see the slash damage of the head is 43 compared to the head resistance of slashing of 36, which will give us a damage of 7 points. Add that to the 25 damage points caused by the blunt damage, gives us a total of 32 damage caused by the hitting to the head by the axe. We'll go down to the body armour. We can see that the slashing armour of the heavy cuirass that I'm wearing completely negates all of the slashing damage of the axe. So it's purely down to blunt damage, which comes up to 18. So an overall damage of 18 when attacking the body with an axe. The arm damage overall comes to 9 slashing damage and 36 blunt damage, which is a total of 45 damage when attacking the arms. And the leg damage, the slash comes to 11 and the blunt comes to 23, overall coming to 34 damage. So overall these aren't very high damage amounts. You're going to be in a fight, especially if you're outnumbered, it's going to take a few swings to get one of these enemies down, and if they start countering them, you know how it is with the game, it starts getting tedious and starts getting quite hard. So next we'll go to the ceremonial mace, the best mace that you can buy in the Rattay weapons store. And we can see this has a piercing and a slashing damage of 3, which can be completely negated by all the armour we're wearing. So all its damage is coming from the blunt. So if we look at the head, the overall blunt damage, once negating the armour value, comes to 42 damage. The overall body damage comes to 35. The arms come to 53. And the legs come to 40. So these are all higher than the damages caused by the axe. So straight away we are seeing that the mace is a better weapon against heavily armoured opponents, which we'd expect to see anyway. So we'll go on to the sword now. So Herod's sword, again, it's the best sword that you can buy in Rattay. And the game argues that when using a sword, it might not be as useful against heavily armoured opponents. But when you crunch the numbers down, this is what we get. So the piercing damage, this is by the stabbing action. This tends to be quite a fast attack. You can use this if you're running into opponents, you want to attack them quickly before the main fight starts. But it causes less damage overall. So once we negate all of the armour, we get a head damage of 28, a body damage of 19, and an arm damage of 24, and leg damage of 28. but it is worth noting that when you are in a fight you can only target the body or the head. You can't target the other limbs individually with a stab. So that's 28 for the head, 19 for the body. Not very high damages at all. So we come on to the sword slashing damage, and we have a huge damage counter there, 97. So you can see, even with the armour negating most of that damage, it's still going to cause a lot. And those come up to a head damage of 61, a body of 52, arm damage of 63, and leg damage of 65. That's after the armour. So even with a heavily armoured opponent, the sword is still coming out as the highest amount of damage caused to the enemies. So as a quick comparison, the mace has a head damage of 42, the sword of 61. Straight away you can see on head damage alone, 2 swipes with the sword and the opponent's down. Body, the mace causes 35, the sword causes 52. The arms, the mace causes 53, the sword ends with 63. And the legs, the mace causes 40, and the sword causes 65. Again, all of this heads towards you've got to use the sword. The sword in this case is mightier than the pen or the mace. I also want to quickly mention about the longbow. So again, this is the best longbow you can buy in Ratio, and you can see how powerful this weapon actually is. So it has a piercing damage of 126. So even after negating armour, we get a head damage of 96, body damage of 87, arm damage of 92, and leg damage of 96. So we can see this is massive damage. The only disadvantage with the bow is it is very hard to use. I hope to make a tutorial on it soon enough. I'm still getting used to it myself. But if you can master the bow, you can master taking out enemies before they're even anywhere near of a threat. Never mind the weapon damage of the other ones we've gone through. I'll put this all up in a table for you to go through at the end. And don't forget to check out my Twitch channel. I'm constantly streaming this game, if not others. And give that subscribe button a hit and follow me on Twitch. Thank you very much.